Did you do the 5 whys exercise? Did you ask yourself, why is this important what I'm doing? Did you ask yourself the question why 5 times like I did? Well, I was the guinea pig back in 2021 when I asked myself that. And what I discovered were 2 things. I got 2 answers from that, not just one. One was my deepest why, and the other was my strongest why. And let me explain the difference between the 2. So my deepest why is kind of foundational. It's what everything is built on. The why I do what I do with my very best effort. And that's my personal faith, which is probably true for a lot of people. But perhaps for others, it is their big, hairy, audacious goal. It's what drives them to innovate, to always do better, to do their very best work. It could be the idea that excellence itself is worth striving for and never settling for less. But that's a deepest why. Sometimes it's belonging. We would get to that when I did workshops often. I did one for a credit union up in East Cleveland, Ohio. They had 2 branches. They have been around for a good number of years. Smaller sized bank, but I came up and did a workshop for them. And I did the 5 whys exercise with them. And I asked them, why was it important for them to join this credit union? I mean, there are other banks, bigger credit unions that would probably pay more. So why did they choose to stay with this credit union? And as I asked the question why 5 times, we got to the answer, and their deepest why was belonging. They felt like they belonged. That is a deepest meaning, and that's what was true for Jerry in Denver. Now, the other answer that I found was my strongest why. Now, this isn't as foundational, but when the alarm clock goes off at 0:30 in the morning and I don't feel like getting up to go to work, why do I? It's not because of my deepest why, it's because of my strongest why, and that's my loved ones. Because I can clearly see that this is the strongest motivator for me. When I was single, oh gosh, I did not take care of myself. I was sick more often, called off from work more often, and I didn't have the same drive as I do now because people are depending on me. I've got to come through for them. I love having that strongest motivator. So I found that there was a deepest motivator and a strongest motivator. And I do this exercise on a regular basis, once or twice a year, just to see if anything's changed. So, what are your deepest and strongest whys? It's an illuminating exercise I highly recommend.